the abandoned village of KULDHARA. Hidden deep within the arid Thar Desert, approximately 18 kilometers west of the golden city of Jaisalmer in Rajasthan, lies the ghostly ruins of KULDHARA village. Once a bustling, prosperous settlement, KULDHARA has stood abandoned for more than 2 centuries. What was once home to over 1,500 people is now a skeletal remnant of a bygone era, marked by crumbling houses, empty streets, and an eerie silence that haunts visitors. The mystery behind KULDHARA's sudden and mass exodus remains one of India's most compelling unsolved enigmas, blending history, folklore, and the supernatural into a chilling tale of tragedy and betrayal. The rise of KULDHARA, a prosperous oasis in the desert. KULDHARA was established around the 13th century by the Paliwal Brahmins, a renowned community of traders and agriculturists. The Paliwals were revered for their ingenuity and skill, especially their mastery of irrigation techniques that allowed them to thrive in the harsh, arid environment of the Thar Desert. Using cotton irrigation methods, which involved constructing earthen embankments to capture and store rainwater, they transformed the desert into fertile agricultural land. This innovation enabled them to grow wheat, pulses, and other crops, ensuring a steady livelihood despite the challenging climate. KULDHARA, along with a cluster of around 84 neighboring villages, formed a close-knit community of Paliwals. The village's well-planned layout was typical of its time, with wide streets, stone and mud houses, and public squares. The Paliwals, being a wealthy community, built spacious homes with intricately carved windows, arches, and pillars. Temples dedicated to Hindu deities dotted the landscape, reflecting the villagers' deep spiritual beliefs. At the center of KULDHARA stood the village well, a crucial source of life in the desert. The Paliwal Brahmins were not only skilled in agriculture, but were also shrewd traders. KULDHARA lay on important trade routes, and the community flourished through commerce, trading goods with caravans traveling through the desert. Their success brought them considerable wealth, making the Paliwals one of the most influential and affluent communities in the region. However, the prosperity of KULDHARA was not to last. A series of events set in motion a dark chapter in the village's history, leading to its sudden abandonment and the legends of curses and hauntings that continue to surround it. The dark legend of Salim Singh, the ruthless Diwan of Jaisalmer. At the heart of KULDHARA's tragic tale is Salim Singh, the notorious Diwan, chief minister, of Jaisalmer in the early 19th century. Salim Singh served under the Maharaja of Jaisalmer but was infamous for his tyrannical rule. Known for his cruelty and greed, Salim Singh imposed exorbitant taxes on the people of Jaisalmer, especially targeting the wealthy Paliwal Brahmins who lived in KULDHARA and the neighboring villages. His insatiable hunger for wealth and power made him a much-feared figure throughout the region. According to legend, Salim Singh's oppression extended beyond economic exploitation. It is said that he became infatuated with a beautiful young girl, the daughter of the village head of KULDHARA. The Diwan, driven by lust and arrogance, demanded that the girl be handed over to him. He threatened the Paliwals, warning them that if they refused, they would face dire consequences, including even higher taxes or violent reprisals. The Paliwals, who valued their honor, dignity, and traditions, were deeply troubled by Salim Singh's demands. The community, which had lived peacefully for centuries, now found itself trapped in a dilemma: give into the Diwan's immoral demands and sacrifice their honor, or face his wrath and risk losing everything. The village elders gathered to discuss the matter, and after much deliberation, they made a fateful decision. The night of the exodus, KULDHARA's mass abandonment. Rather than surrendering the girl to Salim Singh, the Paliwal Brahmins chose a path that shocked the entire region. In the dead of night, the villagers of KULDHARA and the residents of all 84 neighboring villages packed their belongings and disappeared. The exodus was swift, silent, and methodically planned. By dawn, KULDHARA was an empty ghost town, its streets eerily silent, its homes abandoned. The Paliwals vanished without a trace, leaving behind only ruins and a chilling mystery that persists to this day. No one knows exactly where the Paliwals went. Some speculate that they sought refuge in other parts of Rajasthan, while others believe they migrated to more fertile lands far from the reach of Salim Singh's tyranny. What is certain is that they left behind a powerful curse. They decreed that no one would ever be able to live in KULDHARA again. The curse declared that whoever attempted to settle in the village would meet with misfortune and death. For more than 200 years, KULDHARA has remained deserted, with no one daring to reclaim the land. The once thriving village became a crumbling relic of the past, its broken walls and dilapidated houses standing as silent witnesses to the Polywal's dramatic departure. Theories behind the exodus. Was it really a curse? While the legend of Salim Singh and the curse is the most popular explanation for KULDHARA's abandonment, historians and archaeologists have offered other theories. The real reasons for the village's desertion may lie in a combination of environmental, economic, and social factors. One plausible theory is that the scarcity of water played a significant role in KULDHARA's abandonment. Despite their expertise in irrigation, the Polywals were still reliant on the natural water supply of the region. Prolonged periods of drought and water scarcity may have made it impossible for the villagers to sustain themselves, forcing them to seek more hospitable areas where they could continue farming and trading. Another theory suggests that the heavily increased taxes and political instability under Salim Singh's regime may have led the Polywals to flee. Constant economic pressure, combined with the threat of violence, could have driven the villagers to abandon their homes in search of a safer and more stable life elsewhere. Some historians also believe that raids by neighboring kingdoms or nomadic tribes may have contributed to the exodus. Regardless of the reasons, no definitive evidence has been found to explain exactly why KULDHARA was abandoned or where its residents went. The village's sudden and total desertion remains a mystery, shrouded in myth and speculation. KULDHARA today, a haunted village of ruins and legends. Today, KULDHARA is a popular tourist attraction, drawing visitors from all over the world who are fascinated by its eerie atmosphere and ghostly reputation. The Rajasthan government has declared KULDHARA a heritage site, and while efforts have been made to preserve the ruins, the village remains largely as it was left over 200 years ago. Visitors can wander through the empty streets, exploring the crumbling houses, temples, and wells that once bustled with life. As you walk through KULDHARA, the silence is palpable. The desert wind whistles through the broken walls, and the vast emptiness of the village is overwhelming. The homes, though deteriorated, still bear traces of their former grandeur, with remnants of carved stone, arched doorways, and courtyards that suggest a once thriving community. But KULDHARA's allure is not just in its history, it is in the supernatural legends that surround it. Many locals and visitors claim that the village is haunted. Paranormal phenomena, such as mysterious sounds, strange lights, and unexplained occurrences, have been reported over the years. Some say they can hear footsteps in the empty streets or feel an unsettling presence as they explore the ruins. On particularly quiet nights, it is said that the whispers of the past can still be heard, as though the souls of the Polywals are trying to communicate with the living. The most persistent legend is the curse that the Polywals left behind. Over the years, several attempts have been made to resettle KULDHARA, but each one has failed. People who tried to live in the village reportedly experienced misfortune, illness, and even death. Crops failed, buildings mysteriously collapsed, and those who stayed for too long felt an overwhelming sense of dread, leading them to abandon their efforts. Paranormal investigations in KULDHARA. KULDHARA's reputation as one of India's most haunted places has attracted the attention of paranormal investigators and ghost hunters from across the globe. In recent years, teams of investigators have visited the village with sophisticated equipment to try and capture evidence of supernatural activity. Some teams have reported unusual fluctuations in electromagnetic fields, which are often associated with paranormal phenomena. Others claim to have captured strange sounds on audio recordings, whispers, footsteps, and even faint voices. Video footage has shown mysterious lights and shadowy figures moving through the ruins, although skeptics argue that these could be explained by natural causes like the wind or reflections of light. Despite the lack of conclusive evidence, KULDHARA's ghostly reputation continues to grow. The village has become a hotspot for thrill seekers and those curious about the supernatural, many of whom visit at night in the hope of experiencing something paranormal. KULDHARA is more than just a set of ruins. It is a place frozen in time, where history, myth, and the supernatural intertwine. Whether you believe in the legend of Salim Singh and the Poliwal curse or subscribe to more practical explanations for the village's abandonment, KULDHARA remains a place of fascination and intrigue. Its empty streets and dilapidated homes tell a story of prosperity, tragedy, and mystery, while the whispers of its ghostly past continue to capture the imagination of all who visit. As you stand amidst the ruins, it's impossible not to feel the weight of history pressing down on you. The eerie silence, the vast desert stretching out in all directions, and the haunting stories that echo through the air make KULDHARA a place unlike any other. Whether it's the curse, the supernatural, or simply the desolation of time, KULDHARA is a village that refuses to be forgotten.